Hi, so today I will be discussing the 8 characteristics that make Xenophanes an ideal conversation partner. So I'll enumerate them all before I discuss them further. They are dialogical, non-dogmatic or agnostic, critical, ethical, monotheist, poetic, empiricist, and incredulous. So the first two are dialogical and non-dogmatic or agnostic. So he was interactive and engaging, such that he would interrupt his own recitation of Homer and Hesiod and he would criticize them. So this shows that he doesn't leave anything unexamined. It's a dialogue. Specifically in 7.1, he mentions tossing my thought throughout the land of Greece. So this is an invitation for discourse. We also see how he's agnostic because when he says tossing my thought, it pertains to his ambivalence with his own position, which is a searching position. So that's what I mean when I say agnostic here. It's not a person who doesn't have a definite belief on the existence of God, but it refers to the I don't know position. It acknowledges what he knows and what he doesn't. Also, in the last line of fragment 7.1, it says, if I know how to speak truly about these matters. So this suggests that he doesn't insist on his own point of view. It's a conversation. He throws it out to us. And it's non-dogmatic in the sense that he presents what he knows to the best certainty he can. So there wouldn't be a dialogue in the first place if he insisted on something. The next two are critical and ethical. So in 7.2, give us no fights. Sorry for the background noise, sorry. So give us no fights with titans, no, nor giants, not centers. The forgeries of our fathers, nor civil brawls in which no advantage is, but always be mindful of God's is good. So he asks us to be critical. He says, don't give me stories about titans and etc. He takes a critical stance against them, even if these are the subjects of what he speaks of in his recitations. His concern lies that these stories of conflict may have an effect on society, so we have to be critical when we approach them. The primary criteria Xenophanes has for the truth is it ethical? Because these images of conflict, the titans, giants, the centaurs, are presented in an honorary way. So it's problematic when our ideal is very violent. So he asks us to ask ourselves, what effect does it have? Does it produce good in society? Here he depicts a way for us to solve the conflict in our ethical and critical examination of these topics. The next three are monotheist, poetic, and empiricist. So I'll be using 7.10. God is one, greatest among gods and men, not all like mortals in body or thought. So by monotheist, Xenophanes refers to the singular core, the central concept. So when he says God is one, greatest among gods, the unicity here is poetic and not numerical. He also uses comparative language, which speaks of him being poetic, and he uses this comparative language to say it cannot be compared. So God is a supreme being, and he mentions it in 7.8. It is unholy for any of the gods to have a master. Because if you think about it, if something were to have a master, that means the lesser being wouldn't be a god. So the nature of God, as you can see here, can only be one. It's inherently one. And empiricist because he likes to provide evidence to support his claims. So the last characteristic is credulous. So before I discuss this, I will define the two, credulity and incredulity. So based on the Merriam-Webster dictionary, credulity is the readiness or willingness to believe, especially on slight or uncertain evidence, while incredulity is a feeling that you do not or cannot believe or accept something is true or real. So incredulous here in the characteristic has a parenthesis around it, and this is to note that it is not the opposite of credulity. It doesn't mean what I just defined earlier that says, no, you don't make sense, I cannot accept what you just said, but rather it says, it doesn't yet make sense, so please explain it to me. This for me is an ideal characteristic because you don't want to talk to someone who just accepts everything you say, but rather it's a pushback. Again, it's a discourse, it's dialogical. It's being honest about what you can accept and why you don't agree, which encourages you to probe further on the subject and get a better answer or explanation. So thank you for watching, and I hope this video helps you understand the 8 characteristics of Xenophanes being the ideal conversation partner. Bye!